Well, that's what's happening.
Ooh,
Ooh,
ooh.
record recording in progress in case you didn't know. I guess it doesn't do like
It
a
also
huge
tells me
countdown.
the
Oh, it
meeting
gave
is
you
being recorded.
the little pop-up in case I tried to be sneaky about it or something. I've
Uh-huh.
always wondered that. Like,
Yeah. There
are
is no
people
sneaky.
no, Zoom doesn't let you. I'm sure
Mm-mm.
there's lots of like legal shit to that it's someone's job to understand, but it is probably good that people can't secretly record Zoom meetings.
It's so weird though because people could technically like I'm, I love that I was about to talk about this like an expert, and it's fully from TV and movies.
Speak on it.
I just realized I was like, where did I learn that? Oh, like a procedural.
Sure. It's
Um,
where we all learn our important information. It's where I get my news.
it's fucked up. John Oliver did a great segment on Law and Order and how America really believes this is what it is. Um, anyway, no, there's the like something like uh certain evidence isn't usable in court.
Mhm.
So, for example, if we weren't knowingly recording this, but if I like started recording it on my phone without your knowledge, depending on the laws of the state, that would not be admissible in court.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're like, yes, I did kill them. It's like, well, doesn't matter.
Well,
Isn't
she
that
didn't
crazy?
consent to you
Isn't
recording her
that
say
crazy
that.
though? It's like people could just be admitting crazy shit. And it's like, well, sorry, technically the way in which you got that doesn't count. So
Well, I wonder that, what's interesting is now what's interesting about that is that I know for a fact that we are in states with different laws about this. So
you told me this because of my
you
landlord
cannot,
situation.
yes, here I can record whatever the fuck I want and nobody, which I love, by the way, because
Yeah.
I absolutely am like, if you're going to start talking crazy with me, I
Yeah.
will absolutely be audio recording you.
Yes.
So watch out and be careful. However,
Yeah.
I wonder how that works. Like if we are, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because Zoom
Yeah.
is gonna rat me out anyway, but, like,
Yeah.
you are in a I think you're in a two-party consent state is what that is. So but everyone who's being recorded has to agree to being recorded in all
In
scenarios.
but well, I think it's in private property because, for example, what's going on with ICE, we are allowed to record and they
Sure,
are
sure.
not consenting. And in
But it's in
fact, they
public.
have tried exactly, but we're outside in public. So I think
Okay.
that it's different in public because they couldn't control that. There's just no way that you
Yeah.
could like, I mean, look around. I think that it might be about private property. So like for example, in New York when I recorded my landlord for my own safety,
Mhm.
um, without asking him when he came into my unit. Um, that is not something that I would do here. Luckily, I wouldn't have to because my landlord here is amazing and I wouldn't have to deal with that. So,
Well,
you know,
and this is everyone's PSA not to move to New York, but if you do move to New York and you become friends with me and then you tell me, "By the way, I'm moving in, like, 4 months to another state,"
who did
then
that
I
to
will
you?
I know, it's fucked up, right? I would never speak to that person again, obviously. Um, anyway, this is Anyway More Soon,
Hmm.
a podcast that we're
Welcome.
making so I can trick Adriana into staying my friend after moving away.
And it's funny
Um,
because AJ doesn't realize that I'm actually tricking her through this process.
and that's the
There's a lot
foundation
of
of
good
all
things
good
from
friendships, I think, is
secrecy.
mutual manipulation, I would say.
I mean, if you're
Um,
good enough at it, absolutely.
yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know. This is, that
We are basically being really bad advertisement right now for Geminis and Libras.
well, I mean, this is an air sign problem in a big way that we have. What's the other air sign? Aquarius? Yeah. Yeah, if we got Aquarius energy in here, even more so. Now, if anybody's listening and you do have Aquarius in your big 3 somewhere, you don't have to be an
Mhm.
Aquarius sun, although I think it would help, and you do wanna come on the show and be obnoxious with us and see how just unbearable it can get, please do reach out and let us
How
know.
unbearable it can get.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see if how unbearable we can be just us.
I mean, here's the thing is the problem is that we always have a great time.
Yeah,
Now,
we're not unbearable to each other.
I don't know about anyone else who's listening to our conversations, and depending on in public settings, it has been a mixed bag. Sometimes people seem really interested in becoming a part of whatever we've got going
That's
on,
true.
and
That's
sometimes
true.
less so. So,
I think we're a big case of people not knowing if they wanna be us or be in us.
well, yeah, of
I think
course,
we are the
obviously.
receiving end of that query frequently for people, and possibly more so when we're together. Wanna be or be in.
And honestly, that's it. Again, if you have thoughts about this, go ahead and write in.
Yeah.
Reach out, see what happens. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, okay, so I guess how we should begin here
Yes.
is and I was thinking about this because I knew we were going to begin this way. We're
Mhm.
thinking about something that has made us laugh,
Yes.
something that
Recently.
recently is
Mhm.
sticking with us and having made us laugh. I don't know. I'm having a hard time choosing between a couple of options here.
Okay.
So I don't
You
know.
know, you can have more than one answer. This is our time.
Are you
We can
sure?
do whatever we want.
Is that following the rules?
Do you want to follow the rules?
Oh, big questions. Big questions for so
Morning
early.
sunshine.
Woo! Do you want to follow the rules? Okay. So one that immediately came to mind for me is surprise from the toddler.
Sure.
Um, our 2.5-year-old is in currently in a phase of wanting things to be her way and then feeling big feelings when things do not go her way or she doesn't get something that she wants.
Very
Typical.
relatable. Very relatable.
Truly. Except right now,
What did
her
I just say about our
reaction,
coffee before we started?
I wish we could just have whatever we want all the time.
That is what I said. Exactly.
Literally. And you know what? Fair. Um, so yeah, she too is a human with desires that cannot always be met. And but her way of responding to that lately, like this morning this happened because I would not let her have peanut butter M&Ms for breakfast.
Rude.
She 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 looked at me and she shouted as she has been doing lately, "Call the police. Call the police." Now, except when she says it more like, "Call the police." It's extremely cute and
Mhm.
also horrifying,
Of course. Yes, this is
uh,
terrifying. Yeah.
because we're like, "Hey, we actually don't, as a general rule, do that here.
Yes.
So let's not." Also, I don't love that that's your first response to not getting what you want. This isn't great. We're trying to adjust it over to start instead saying, like today, I don't remember. Oh, she was trying to get into my desk and like mess with my computer. And we were
Uh-huh.
telling her, like, hey, stop it. And I said, security, security. And she like was like caught off guard. But I was like, security, someone's trying to get into my stuff, security. So that's kind of the cops, but it feels a little different than just being like, call the police, which she also said on the subway yesterday, by the
Oh,
way.
Jesus. No. Oh my god, that's so awkward. That's really awkward
Mhm.
for you.
Mhm. It's really fucking embarrassing
Really
for me. Real it's there's extra layers of fucked up too because I have a brown child, I'm a white lady with and my kid is yelling, "Call the police,"
God,
when I
I really
just
love imagining what everyone thought of you in that.
dude, I'm sure I don't like
I
it.
mean, what would you have thought of you in that moment?
I mean, it is really interesting because I do feel like with parenting, I have this moment where when I notice that people are paying a lot of attention to me and how I'm engaging
Sure.
with my children, there's the part of me that's like, "Oh, like, fuck them, whatever. Who cares what they think
Sure.
about me?" And then there's the part of me that's like, "Oh, like, I actually" this is gonna sound so obnoxious, but, like, there's, like, a responsibility that I feel to, like, model parenting and also to, like, in those moments, to, like, show correction, like, to show
Yeah.
that, like,
Sure, sure, sure.
correction is happening.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I think, like, hopefully, if they were paying attention to her saying that, they heard what I said next, which is, Stella, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
not
Yeah.
we're
Right. Right.
not
Right.
calling the police.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, no, I mean, I cannot even imagine the many things that people have thought of me as a parent in the world when they've witnessed me just like somebody was saying this to me the other day, and if it was you, I'm gonna feel bad. And I'm sorry. It did matter to me, just not enough to remember that you said it. But somebody was like, "Oh, like in New York City, like you have all of your parenting moments outside of your home in public versus like people who live in places where they have cars and they drive their children to and from places and traveling is something that
Yeah.
happens in your contained bubble.
That's right.
Everything I'm doing with my kids is in a public space. So
That's right.
any transit
That's
experience
right.
that we ever have. And so I also have spent hundreds of hours
That's right.
on trains with small children.
Parenting in public. That's your next podcast.
That's really interesting because I'm sure I have told you this that Laura and I are like
Hmm.
working on a parenting podcast.
Parenting in
Interesting.
public or
Anywho,
public parenting.
public parenting. This got less funny
This is
as
a
I said.
podcast about
More
making new
serious.
podcasts.
This is a podcast about friendship and new podcasts and more podcasts and title
Well,
ideas for those podcasts.
it did get less funny. However, I mean, this is the root of the root of funny things is usually dark truth. So um,
Call the
I am
police.
I am not the I was gonna say I like the idea of you all just coming up with different professions that to say in that moment. So like call the zookeeper or like call
Oh,
the
that's
janitor.
fun.
Um
Yes.
I don't know, call the accountant. Just like
That's me every time I'm at the store about to buy something that I'm not supposed to buy. Call the accountant.
I mean, you could just train her in a totally different realm of fucked upness, but one that might be more lucrative, which is call the lawyer.
Love
That
that.
in life, when she's not getting what she wants, it'll be 50-50 or probably more like 60-40. But like some people will fully back down and give her whatever she wants. She's an adult saying that.
Here's the thing is that I'm going to start using that. I don't know why I haven't
Call
been
the lawyer.
saying this all the time. Call the lawyer. Call the
I
lawyer.
mean, it gets even scarier if you say attorney, but she's little, so we'll ease
Sure.
into that. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's incredible. That's what's making me laugh.
I love it.
What about you?
That is very funny. What is making me laugh is, to be honest, I haven't really laughed this morning until talking to you, which is a little weird for me. I usually am fairly entertained often.
Yeah.
But again, I think I'm a little in my head, so it's less so. So I would say, yesterday when I was walking home, I was listening to a podcast that you recommended, with Kate Berlant and Jacqueline Novak. And
I love them.
it's like I just picked a random episode and just started listening, and I was like, and I mean, again, I love both of them. So when you recommended it, I was like, obviously, da 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 da. And sure enough, it was just like that podcast and like Chelsea Peretti's podcast. They uniquely feel like a chaos that is like a blanket to me, if that makes sense. It's very
Yes.
comforting to me.
Totally.
Like,
Totally.
and I understand that it's not for everyone. Like Chelsea Peretti's podcast is a chaos that a lot of people I know can't like stomach. For me, I'm like, it is profoundly settling. Like I
Mm.
love it. It is
Mhm.
like those kind of podcasts are like Xanax to me. And I laugh a lot. It's unpredictable across the board. And um so yeah, their podcast together felt a little like that. Less like with the sound effects and hanging up on people calling in and stuff, which is what Chelsea does, which
Yeah.
I do appreciate those edges as well. But yeah, just listening to two people chaotic and funny and smart and silly and self-aware you know, like, because I say
Mhm.
smart, but there were multiple times of like saying something like it's a fact and then being like, I don't actually know that. You know? And like, which reminds me
Yeah.
of you and I, because like, I mean,
Uh-huh.
I just did that a second ago with thinking like,
Where where did I learn
where did
that?
I learn
Oh,
that? Oh, TV and movies, right. So,
yeah.
like, I really admire like, I don't care if people run around saying wrong shit, but it's helpful if you can acknowledge, like, and it's funnier if you can just be like, "I actually don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I'm saying it like I do."
Mm.
Um, so yeah, and then I got on here and you immediately made me laugh, and I was having very much a, like, Adriana and the very bad, no good, horrible morning, so, like, thank you.
Mm. Aw.
Not for any real reason, just I'm feeling like a brat today, that's it. No one did anything to me. I just
This
am
is
doing it to myself.
half of my mornings are this way. Maybe more, where I just am like, "Oh, there's not any good," air
Mm-mm.
quotes, "reason," but, it
Yep,
just I'm feeling like a bitch today, and it's
that's
gonna
right.
happen.
I mean, to be fair, it is day 1 of my period today, so I did wake up to, like,
Oh, well,
physical
sure.
pain, but and a hormonal imbalance, but
Dude, come on. I
but I still am
fucking
like, I can't help it, I still have that mentality of, like, "Fucking toughen up, bitch." Like, "Why can't you handle
well,
it?" You know? Like,
well.
"You don't get to have this, like, get the fuck over it, everyone feels this way, you can't be this way." You know?
Oh.
This is very much my internal monologue this morning.
Oh, listen. Well, number 1, I love that you're like, "Ugh, I just am feeling bratty. I don't know why." I mean, maybe it's possibly that I started my period. I don't know. Could be related. Yeah, perhaps. And yeah, deeply relate to the like I literally said, I think I said to my wife last night, like, I'm trying to remember how I said it to her, but I was like, "Yeah, I feel like I contribute nothing." Like, I feel like
I
in our
can't.
family system, I feel like I contribute nothing. I mean, and she, of course, was like, God bless her because she's like, "I wanna validate your feelings and that they're real, and I hear
Uh-huh.
you," right? Because she knows that if she's like, "No, like, of course not," then I'll be like, "You're just saying that." So she's like, very lovely, like, I hear you and
Yes, yes.
how you're feeling is real, and also you have to know that that's not based in reality, right?
Right. Yes.
You have to know that. Um, but sometimes our emotions like to lie to us.
Well, it's also like, I mean, I keep using this language these days because it just feels so relevant, but cognitive dissonance is like so fucking real. It's like
Hmm,
the ability to see, God, I fucking hate Plato, but like, yeah, to see like what is actually real and feel totally different, which isn't what he
yep.
was saying at all, but like, yeah, just like in the cave and shit. But yeah, I'm like, it is even more frustrating, that part of like, of course, you could logically make a list of everything you contribute to the family.
Mhm.
That knowledge coupled with the feeling that is antithetical to that of worthlessness
Yeah.
is i- it's almost like it would be better just to have the worthlessness and not be
Yeah.
aware that it's also wrong, that your feeling
Mhm.
isn't right. And
Mhm.
you're to because then it's like, "Fuck, why is this misalignment happening? Now I have to figure that out." And then you're like, "Look at the list of shit I have to do to contribute to this family. I can't also solve this gap in reality and feeling." Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
absolutely. Yeah, so that's just like casually also a thing that's happening. I like to say, I know this intellectually
I say that
and,
too, yeah.
or like I know it up here, I don't feel it in here, or I
Mhm.
don't feel it in here. Like there's
Right.
just,
Yep.
yeah, so there's that. I mean, it's actually becomes kind of an interesting segue into the question that I brought for you,
Okay.
which is as we're talking about, cognitive dissonance, as we're talking about knowing something and also feeling the opposite. And
Mhm.
what is the most ridiculous lie that you have ever told?
Can I tell you that, like, I love this question, and I was so afraid that this is a question you might ask me. So, I'm not sure that I'll be able to pinpoint one, I'll try to, but I think something if I mean, in all transparency, lying is something that I have, like, I actively work on because
Mm.
I have an instinct to like lie in the dumbest ways.
Mhm. Mhm.
There's like this weird it's in moments where I'm clearly feeling disconnected or insecure or something
Mhm.
that I either talk too much or I like just take something too far that's just to an untrue place. Right?
Mm. Mhm. Mhm.
Whether it be to be like in the like instant like millisecond that it's happening, I think like this is gonna be more impressive or make this
Mm.
story more compelling or make me matter
Mhm.
to this person that I'm insecure I somehow don't matter to.
Mm.
Excuse
Mhm.
me, or like that I'm just not contributing enough or something. I don't know, but I have it. There is a feeling that I've like started identifying, and it literally just happened like hmm, 2 or 3 days ago, because I remember standing in the shower being like, "Why the fuck did you say that?" And it was so stupid. It was literally just like, I don't know, like saying that I had done something for like X amount of time when I had only done it like a few months less than that or something. Like it was just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Mm.
Pointless. It didn't gain there was no gain from that lie.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember what the fuck it was because I pointedly remember standing in the shower being like, "What the fuck, dude? Like,
Yeah.
I thought we had gotten past this. Like, why are we lying for literally no
Mm.
reason?"
Mm.
Um, so I say that to say, I have a complicated relationship with lying. I
Yeah.
don't lie about I also it's weird because I do that, but I also at the very same time have a real inability to be inauthentic.
Mm.
So I like if it's real, like I can't lie. I could try and you would know.
Mm. Yeah.
And it's like impossible for me. Like it viscerally hurts my body to lie in significant ways.
Mhm.
And yeah, when I was a kid though, I fibbed all the time.
Oh, totally. Yeah, yeah.
Like my thing was like I was joking. I was joking. I still remember being in I think my sister and I were like brushing our teeth one morning or something and I was just lying about shit and my sister was like annoyed and was like quit lying and I was like I'm kidding. And she was like, "You're just lying all the time. When you say you're kidding or joking, you're just lying. That's what you're doing."
Yep.
And yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to think of like anything specific. I mean, when I first went to college, this is not a funny one per se, although everything's funny.
Mm.
I was ashamed when I got to college. I realized that everyone I met, even though I was going to school in Bowling Green, Kentucky, um, everyone I met was from a city. Everyone was from either Louisville or Nashville. Um, and I came from a 2,000 person small town, zero city life. Um, and I was embarrassed for that. Um, and so it's like the dumbest lie, but I was like, I'm from Indianapolis. Like, that's what I would say to everyone. And honestly, I
Amazing.
did that for the longest time, until probably like an embarrassing age when I was finally like, oh, it doesn't really matter, like
Yeah.
where you're from. It's a shorter explanation to say Indianapolis than it is to say like, because now it's like a whole thing. Where are you from? A very small rural town in Indiana. Oh, which one? Y There's just you're not gonna know it. Like,
We
it's
don't have
just
to do this.
like, I just you're not gonna know it. And I will like, there's been maybe 3 times in my, um, like, 17 or so years not living there that anyone has been like, "Oh, yeah." You know? So, like,
Yeah.
the closest I can do is like, "Here's the highway that's nearby." And they're like, "Oh,
Sure.
I've heard of that one." I'm like, "Great. Well, I live near that." And even though
Yeah.
that spans the entire nation, but sure. Um, but yeah, so that's one that I definitely did, uh, on repeat. Um, I think it's hard too because I like the complicated thing about like being a person who has like stretched the truth or whatever for so long in so many ways that are dumb and insignificant is that I also have the sensation of being a fraud all the time,
Mm,
but in ways that I didn't lie about, you know?
mhm.
And it's just like, but it doesn't help. Like when, because I have lied about these things, it validates my narrative of, see, you are a fraud.
Mm, mhm.
You haven't done any of the stuff that you think you have. You're not shit, you know?
Mm,
Um, oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So it's
Mm.
almost like maybe just stop saying the little white lies and that would help not validate this fraudulent feeling.
Well, sure.
And again, I hadn't in ages, and that's why the other day is so sticky. I wish I could remember what it was because it was so stupid. It
Mm.
was so fucking stupid, and I remember shaming myself for it in the shower, but I don't remember what I s.
Well, yeah, the shame element does remain potent as well as the context where you
Yeah.
received the shame.
Yes.
The content is less important.
That's that's right. That's right.
Uh,
Yeah.
I, um I relate very much to the fibbing child experience. This was like
Yeah.
a big part. For me, it was I would go to school and tell like tall tales of things that had happened and be insistent that they were real.
Wait, first
And
pause. Do you remember the movie Tall Tales
I remember that there is
with
a
the
movie
blue
called that.
ox and Paul
I d
Bunyan and a
Okay, so
tornado? Oh my god.
this all feels right, but I don't have
So
I
much
don't have
right.
strong memories of this. Um,
Oh my god. We're gonna watch it at
yeah,
Thanksgiving. Go ahead.
great. Can't wait. Really looking forward to it. I I just I would say, yeah, my family went to this place this weekend and blah 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 and like make up stuff that was like just out of the realm of being actually like possible or real and like
Mm,
adults I was speaking and it was always to adults.
of course,
I was
naturally.
talking to teachers and then they occasionally they would reach out to my mom or like at parent teacher conferences they would be like Aubrey has a really active imagination and she loves to like tell stories.
Uh-huh.
She loves to tell stories, but she has to work on being honest. So yeah, relatable. And then yeah, the way that translates into adulthood and like yeah, the like telling white lies thing or the like, thing that is yeah, is similarly like I think stuff that's really big.
Yeah,
I have trouble I can't my body can't hold the
exactly.
discomfort of that.
That's
It
right.
just like doesn't. I'm too anxious for that shit.
If anything, I'm
So
too honest in real stuff where I'm like, let me just go tell them now exactly what this is. You know what I mean? Instead of that, and that does actually like get me into trouble sometimes. I've had to learn that like just sit with it for a minute. You don't have to do it right now. But I'm like, resolution, let's go do it, you know? And that's also gotten me into trouble before where it's like, if you just would have been patient a little bit longer, that person might have figured it out on their own. And then we wouldn't have had an explosive moment, but you had to get out of the discomfort ASAP. And
yeah. And it created even more discomfort?
that's right.
Yeah, that's a hard learned lesson, isn't it, buddy? I
Huh.
still figuring that one out for myself. The kind of
Same. Yeah.
the art of the
The art of the
pause
pause.
and, like, just, like, let things work themselves out, you know?
People, I mean, I do think that's one of the biggest struggles with communication writ large. When I facilitate, permission to pause is always an agreement that I make. Like when I do the community agreements for any space I'm facilitating, um, which are just agreements of how we will communicate with each other and what we need from each other in order to step into that space. Um, Permission to pause is always one of them. And I think it's one that people struggle with because I think they one of two things happens. Either they literally don't understand and don't know how,
Mhm.
and they step right over it and just say
Yep.
whatever. Um, or they go into full silence. And I'm like, no, pausing
Mm,
is not silence.
yep.
Pausing is intentional slowing down to say, what am I thinking? And what am I wanting to share? And how is that actually going to move us forward?
Yeah.
Which is what I literally have to do. It's the exercise I have to do for myself all the time is like, is what you want to share? What is the motivation? What are you hoping to gain from doing that?
Oof.
And is it actually
Mm,
going to move things forward? Or are you just doing this to feel better? Because it's not to say that that's not a valid enough answer. And sometimes I'm like, that's enough. I am doing it to feel better and I'm willing to take that hit right now. Like, let's go.
yeah.
But other times it's helpful to pause and say, like, I don't think that's actually going to get you what you want. So maybe we're going to slow it down. And yeah, but permission to pause also usually gives me the space to come up with a question that I actually have. Because 9 times out of
Mm,
10, I'm like, you probably are just actually curious about something. Your initial emotion is getting in front of that right now. And we need to clear that
mm,
before we can get curious and actually learn.
I mean, this became way
And then
more.
other times I'm just a
Um,
brat and I'm like, fuck you. This is what you did. How fucking dare you?
I was about to be like, this became very like educational, in a way that I didn't anticipate. And then, you came in with the bratty answer, which I love as well.
Complicated person, AJ. Like,
You
I've got
are.
a lot going on.
There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers. And I am excited for our audience to really get to see that, all the layers that make up you, you know? See, okay. So also, I
Mhm.
don't know. So I brought this question for you.
Yeah.
And I, of course, am prepared also to answer the question if you would like. However, perhaps we only need to answer the questions that are posed to us. So you tell me if you want to know about the most ridiculous lie I've ever told, or if you would like to
I
share with
think I
me
do
your
because
question.
I think what I would like to do is save my question and then next time I'll ask you the first question and then I can answer it back as well. But let's just focus on
Great.
this question cuz I'm like I am very curious what your well, we've already talked a little bit about the relationship to honesty, but I'm
Yeah.
very curious if you have a memory in mind that you're like, "Oh, I remember this one."
Do I ever? So, fun fact, this
Uh-huh.
is what I'm about to tell you is, in fact, my earliest memory,
Shut the fuck up.
period.
Oh my god, yours
Is
is going to be so much better than mine.
is me lying. No, how's this better?
Because
No,
you actually have a thing. I basically was the kid who just got an A on a test because I talked my way out of it.
stop
That's
it.
what I just did.
Don't put yourself down right now because what you shared
That's not
was
necessarily putting myself down. That means I didn't do the work and I still won.
you haven't heard my story yet.
I can't
So,
wait.
buckle up. So, I believe I was like 4 or 5 when this
Okay.
happened, right? So I was pretty small. Um and this is the earliest memory that I have. And I can remember the exact house I was in. My parents were still together.
Mm,
My parents got divorced when I was in first grade, between kindergarten and first grade. Um, so my parents were still together when this happened. We were in the house that my parents and my younger brother and newborn sister lived in together. And what I remember is being in the kitchen
mhm,
and I had spilled a container of salt, like the
mm,
little cylindrical container of iodized salt.
sure.
And I was standing there and it had spilled. And I knew that my parents were going to be mad. And so what I did was I started to scream, help me, I'm blind."
Oh
And my parents
my
came in
god.
and I said, "I got salt in my eyes and now I can't see anything. Help me, I'm blind."
AJ.
No. Um, so, obviously, they quickly learned that this wasn't true, and also that's not a thing that can happen from, getting
Right,
some
right, right.
salt in your eyes, I don't think.
Uh-huh.
But that was my impulse. Instead of being like, "Oops." I spilled something. Um, oh no, I've gone blind. This is my first memory that I have of me as a child was doing this.
Okay, I have like 5,000 thoughts. Some of them are funny and some of them are kind of sad.
Do
Um,
it. Hit
so
all of them at once, rapid fire. Don't even give me a chance to react.
okay, so the funny one is yet again, I think that improv is something that you would do great at. Not that I want you to join the bandwagon of improv that is like everyone is doing now. But your your improvising skills in that moment were sharp, shall we say. You yes anded the fuck out of your own spill. Um, and, um, and also, I'm like, oh my God, you like, because at that age, like, there is no malicious intent ever with anything. Like, you're just a fucking like spud of a potato trying to figure out like how to
Yeah.
exist.
Mm.
And your instinct to possibly being in trouble is they can't get mad at me if I'm blind and injured. And there's no visible injury. Now this is again where your improv skills are top notch because you quickly figured out I'm clearly not bleeding or broken, so I can't pull that one. You were like a 4-year-old Ferris Bueller.
Listen,
Um,
major inspo. Major
our
inspo
favorite
from
liar. We love
mm,
him. I mean, like, if you're gonna
yes.
lie, let's go all out. I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and I really did it's like saying I am blind, that's swinging big.
Oh yeah.
That is a large swing.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So there's that. That was me. That's what I did.
That's amazing. I love it. I mean, again, I no doubt like, well, I don't remember a ton of my childhood, as you know. So I have, I mean, I did tell you that obviously my mom used my doll Joey to get me to stop fibbing. And it worked because Joey told her that he didn't want to live in a house where with someone who lied so much.
Can you just bring Joey on the screen
I can, yes.
just for
Joey will do a little guest spot here.
I need some support from Joey. Have Joey tell me to stop lying. Oh God.
Joey
So
doesn't want to live with a liar.
so we need to narrate. Help me narrate Joey for anybody who's hearing audio only.
So Joey is he was my first child. And I was 4 when I got him. And he's a tiny little doll with a cloth body and hard hands and a hard head and one sprig of blonde hair out the top, little blue eyes. He's kind of orange now these days.
Mhm.
Um, but um he's a he is a trans child. He came from the box uh pink and meant in like in gendered female
Mm,
identifying clothes. And I quickly recognized that Joey is actually a little boy.
mm.
And so we got Joey some little boy clothes and I made him this little shirt when I was a kid. And yeah,
And I wanna say to you, props to you for being such an attuned parent that you could really at such a young age too, you just
thank you.
immediately knew, like, you were able to connect with your child and really see, like, I wanna let you be who you really are, not who the world has told you that
That's
you have
right.
to be,
That's
you
right.
know? And there's so much power in that.
Thank you. You know, I think it really worked for him. I think
He's
he's
thriving. Clearly,
thriving.
he's
He
thriving.
moved to Chicago. He did some time in New York. Um, he's really just like living his best life.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, but so Joey really helped me out of my fibbing era, if you will.
Mm. Mm.
Um, and maybe I need it since I just did it again recently. Maybe I need another lesson from Joey that a passive threat of leaving me. if I lie again.
Listen, next time I feel that you need like a talking to, I'm gonna be like, okay, get Joey. Go get Joe. Now I need you to put the phone next to Joey on speaker, and I'm gonna speak as Joey. Okay? This is so just get ready because we might need to
Joey's
have moments like
lessons.
that.
Look,
Joey's lessons.
justice with Joey. Joey's justice.
I'm gonna be honest, I feel a little scared to
Uh,
learn Joey's lessons.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Clearly, it was a motivating factor for
Oh
you,
my
and so
God, the
I
book fair is driving by. Literally, the Scholastic Book Fair with Clifford the Big Red Dog on the side just drove by. I think they're gonna go to the school right here. That's exciting. Book fair day, guys.
oh
Aw.
my gosh, I love it. Ugh, I'm
Uh, do you have any other lie memories?
not any that really stick out. I pretty quickly there was a point that I shifted into, like, overachiever, like, wannabe perfect girl mentality,
Mm,
where lying felt like, um, kind of like you're describing, where, like, not telling the truth about something, like, just didn't sit right with me.
mhm,
Um, and there was a point in adulthood that I feel like I sort of clicked into a more, like, authentic place
mm.
with myself where it just feels easier to just be, like, super honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, for me, there's a lot more of like learning how, and this is feels very Midwestern and very much like I have been socialized as a white woman,
Mm.
is lying by omission, just saying nothing
Yes, yes.
rather than saying something that is not true. It
Yeah.
just kind of is like, I'll just keep my thoughts on that to myself.
Yep.
Um,
100%. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that it morphed into that pretty quickly, but there was that really fun stage of childhood where I also was, I think, perhaps my most creative and imaginative self, where I was like, I was lying mostly in ways to be like, my life is really fun and we do cool, fun stuff and
Yeah.
travel places and, stuff like that. But yeah, I do remember at some point I have vague memories of telling lies that involve the Chucky doll from the Child's
Uh,
Play horror movies.
oh, yes.
Those fucked me up.
Yeah.
Those really scared me. I don't know why I would have seen them.
It feels mean that I just pulled Joey in, given that Joey's outfit is very similar to Chucky's.
I know, but the Chucky is like fucked up. Chucky also like Chucky, there was something really, and I think for adults it feels like fun and campy, but for a kid, there was something really scary to me about like, oh, this is a doll that like curses and is mean and
Mhm.
has like a big scar on his face and is gross. You know what I mean? Like there was something that felt very ugh to me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was, I'm sure it was at my dad's house that I was able to
Sure.
watch that movie and then be so scared, and then I had because the way Chucky would kill people a lot was strangling people,
Yep. Yep.
and I would have, nightmares about being strangled.
Interesting.
Or that's where actually a big dream theme of mine started that gets carried into adulthood, which is dreams where I was trying to communicate something to someone who was nearby, but my voice didn't work,
Whoa.
and so they couldn't hear me. Um, that comes up for me a lot still in dreams when I have them, is that sort of theme of, like, my voice is gone.
Yep. Yep.
It's probably
That's
not symbolic
interesting.
of anything at all.
That's very interesting because mine is physical strength. Like I can't, I'm trying to hit someone and like it's just like nothing is happening. Um,
Mm,
and I would say the voice thing, I usually have my actual voice in the dream, but it's usually me saying the truth to someone, excuse me, and them just not believing it no matter what.
no.
And I'm like begging, I'm like, why won't you believe me? Like, and I've like, it's basically an episode of The Twilight Zone, like, where the guy's like, no, like it was like 1955 or whatever. And they're like, no, it's 1875. What are you talking about? And
Mm,
he's like, just feeling insane and gaslit throughout the entire thing. And he
yeah,
is.
wow.
one of my recurring stress dreams, which again has eased up a lot in the last like 4 or 5 years, um, with like TM and like getting my work life managed and like not being in shitty relationships has turns out made a difference.
Wow, funny.
Weird. Very weird. Um, the other thing I was gonna say though, with the like hyperbolic kind of lying, which is kind of what I would say is what we're both kind of describing about like just taking something too far, like making it just a bit too much or whatever that takes it out of truth or reality. I know tons of people who do that.
Yep,
A lot of my closest friends do that. And
yep.
I just don't care. So the other part of my brain that like is standing in the shower being like, "What the fuck? Why would you say that? It didn't matter at all and it changed nothing." And I'm just like berating myself as if I'm less of a person as a result of having done that. Is like most of your close friends do this and you
Mhm.
literally it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything about your friendship. Um
Yeah.
and so I don't know. It's an interesting like uh I don't think it does really matter.
Are you saying that you might hold yourself to a different standard than you do the people closest to you and around you?
I mean, first of all, I'm a little offended that you would insinuate that that's what I meant. Obviously, never.
Mm.
I've never done that in my life. I have never had that experience. Um,
Adriana, I'm so sorry.
it's really
Really
rude that
sorry.
you think that I would ever hold myself to a different standard than other people.
Excuse me. Just forget I even asked. That's not what I meant. I was kidding. I was
I'm just
kidding.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm
What
kidding.
would Joey
Okay.
say?
Joey would not have liked that question. Joey would be like, do not ask my parent invasive questions like that. How dare you?
Oh my God. Um, okay, do we want to do our last question?
Let's do it.
All right. What's keeping us alive?
uh, I mean, a funny thing about this is that before we started recording, we're talking about, my various health ailments, as well as your various health ailments and like literally some of
Mhm,
what's keeping us alive.
mhm,
So that's a funny, interesting question. What comes to
mhm.
mind for you? I feel like I keep jumping in first. What
No,
comes up?
you're good. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind actually is from my therapy appointment yesterday that which therapy, first of all.
Not a period.
Right. Because I like, it was an intense session and there was a lot of tears and there was a lot of like I was just and it was authentic, but I was like, I feel like I'm profoundly failing at life. Like I don't this is
Mm,
not good. Like I
mm,
am not doing okay. And and there are like for the first time in a long time, very tangible ways that I could point to say, see, I am failing, you know? Um, and really there's only one thing, but there's other things that have happened recently that my brain is somehow conflating to being my fault, even though it was out of my control. Um, and so feeling like a failure at failing at life, whatever. And she was like, um, totally valid for you to feel that way. I do just want to flip that and say, like, to be honest, like the world is failing right now.
mhm. Ooh,
So even if you were thriving at your life, you're going to probably feel like you're failing because the things that are going on that are outside of your control in our world right now are it would be impossible for you to feel actually just holistically good right now.
yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Unless you're a literal fucking psychopath,
Right.
evil person.
Correct. Unless your wet dream is coming true right now, in
Uh,
which I'm just going to go ahead and say, unless you're a Nazi, this is
yep.
not great
Yep.
and is exceptionally awful
Yep.
and it was just like I again my instinct is still to be like but what did like how is it my fault or something, which is kind of a narcissistic thing, but anyway, having that, so therapy in general, but her saying that was like basically it just made me like this question we're asking, it's funny, but it's also like very real. Like
Yeah.
these are very dark times. So what is making life worth it right now?
Mhm.
Um and so therapy is like one of the tools that keeps me going, but what is making it worth it is I mean, honestly, I think like cliche as shit, but for me, like I live right across from a school and the kids coming out for recess every day
Mm.
and just hear they're fucking monsters. It's amazing. Um and they're so loud and I mean just like shriek like they're little animals and I am like I don't have kids. I don't want to have kids, but I am just like I love it. I am like you are absolute insanity and I'm obsessed. Like I love every second of it. Be crazy as hell. Yes, yes, yes. And just every time I hear them like just losing their fucking minds because they just got to go outside, by the way, you know,
Yep.
I'm like, I live for that. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna say that.
Mm. I love that. I also think, like, there's something I mean, you know me. People listening to this might not know me yet. They might be just getting to know me. But if you do know me, you know that I'm all like, my orientation is always around inner child shit generally.
Sure.
And so I do think there's something very lovely, and we've talked about this many times, kind of like how you have oriented toward, like, being across from a school and hearing the kids and, like, their kind of rhythms and paying attention to, like, we've been on the phone before and you've been like, "Wait, hold on, like, the ball went out into the street. Do I need to go down and get it? Wait, is that guy gonna stop and get it?" Like, there's an orientation of, like, care and, um also sort of like what you're describing too is like the whimsy of childhood and getting
Yes.
to like absorb some of that by osmosis and also appreciate like them having space to like feel free and safe. And,
Mhm.
there's like the heaviness of that too in the,
Mhm.
context of the world we live in and
Yeah.
the cities we live in particular. And
Yeah, that's right.
anyway, um, okay, I love both of those. Therapy also is keeping me alive. That's always going to be part of my answer. So,
Oh my god, we should send
but
our therapist Christmas cards or something.
we absolutely should. That's a great idea.
Oh my god, we should
Um,
make Christmas cards. Like
Christmas cards from the
we
pod,
should pose and take a Chris and send them just for our therapist. That's all it's for.
only for the therapist, not for anyone else. Oh my god. If you would like a Christmas card, that our therapists are getting and you would also like to be added to the list, please write in. Should we make an email address for this?
We will make an email addresses, yes,
Yes.
100%.
Um,
Should
you
we make an
know,
email address? We've only asked people to email in like 4 times.
here's the thing, is people I have found that if people wanna get in touch, they'll find a way.
They'll find a way. Oh, yeah. They will for sure find a way. We both
We're
have public emails out there somewhere that they're
Yeah,
gonna find, yeah.
we're both Googleable, but,
Yeah. Mhm.
perhaps we'll make it easy and there will be an email in the show notes for you, but
Yeah.
or you could find us on the internet, who
Yeah.
knows? Choose your own adventure. I think so the first thing that actually came to mind for is feels a little different,
Okay.
which is, I wanna make cinnamon rolls from scratch this weekend.
Yes. Dude, from scratch. Okay. We're gonna rise some dough?
Well, listen, my relationship with Instagram is a confusing one,
Yes.
always.
Sure.
Right
Always.
right now, I'm sort of, like, back and forth. I'll have moments where I'm, like, scrolling through it and enjoying it. Right now, my algorithm is seeing that it can keep me on the app if it gives me, like, cooking videos,
Mhm.
um, which is also nice because it doesn't feel like it, like, rots out my brain in the same way or, like, emotionally manipulates me in the same way.
Yeah,
It
sure.
it
It's like
instead
chocolate is good. Right.
yeah, obviously, I wanna watch this lady make this bread from
Right,
scratch,
right,
duh.
right, right, right.
But I saw a post. I saw First I saw a video of somebody making bread and, like, proofing it and all of that,
Mhm.
and then I saw a separate video that was somebody ranking all of the best, cinnamon rolls in that they've had in New York at different restaurants and going through, like, photos of those, And I decided, I can combine what was appealing about each of those and also the fact that I get to spend a weekend largely at home with my family, and I am going to make some cinnamon rolls, and
Love that.
I'm really excited about that. I'm excited. I do a lot more baking and a lot more cooking in the colder months.
Yes.
Um, so that is something that's giving me
Yeah.
joy. Um, I will also say the other thing that came to mind for me is that I don't know if I'm sure you may also be experiencing this, but we are seeing recently, and it's about to get much worse, I'm sure, an uptick in people who are asking for help with getting food
Yep.
or asking for cash out, usually like outside of the
Yeah.
grocery store that's by us. And, I've
Totally.
been grocery shopping or going places with my kids recently, and the older kids have kind of been like, what, like, are there more people than usual? Like, this feels like it's happening more. And so, kind of having to like explain that to them a little bit. Um, so I'm trying to also like have set intention around like carrying cash with me more,
Yeah, that's right.
carrying the kids now have started doing a thing that I told them that I do, which is that I always have like 2 or 3 different kinds of protein bars in my bag, because
Yeah.
even if I don't have cash, I can give somebody like a
Yeah,
food item
that's right.
that is nutrient dense and that will
Yep.
last without being refrigerated.
Totally, totally.
Um, so I'm like being able to do things like that, at least like
Yeah.
when everything feels horrific, like I can feel like I'm being useful.
Yeah.
Um,
There is also I can send you, the link that, I used to keep open on my phone that is basically a website. It's for New York, but, other cities have similar things, but it's basically a database of all the resources available to folks.
mhm,
So if they do have a phone, or access to a library, they can, it's been helpful sometimes. I will say it's not in every situation, but,
yeah,
sometimes it varies how the, exchange
yeah,
goes. Sometimes it's very quick and just here's something and then, like,
yeah,
exchange ended. Other times, like, a person will wanna walk with you and chat with you a little bit, and if
mhm,
that's the case, I usually do say, like, usually I learn a little bit more because they'll share a little bit more about what it is that they actually are needing,
mhm,
whether that be, shelter or a phone. A phone is a
mhm,
big one that especially in Brooklyn, I ran into a lot of people being like, "I need a phone," and I'd be like, "Okay." And even then, I could pull up the resource thing, and you can basically search by borough where to go to get different things.
mm,
And, and yes, unfortunately, a lot of those places have lost a lot of funding, so they've reduced their services, which is why you're, seeing what you're seeing. But
yeah,
it still is like, just another resource to have in mind, in those moments for sure. So it just got very different. I think it's a good thing for people to be aware of and
yeah,
know. And I think another thing that, just while we're, sharing some stuff for people who maybe are feeling a little powerless in this moment, and when you have those interactions in public places, um, 100% carrying cash, carrying protein bars, having something on your phone that shares resources so you can tell them where to go or what else is available. Um, in some places, there are also opportunities to provide, like volunteer and give, for like grocery shopping or picking up pharmaceuticals and
mm,
things like that for people who are currently in hiding.
mm,
Um, and which is, a critical service right now.
mhm,
Um, there's also, even in rural communities, if that's where you're at, uh, the economics are hitting everyone. And
yep,
so, like, usually in some of the small towns that I know of, there's like local churches and things that are doing outreach around that as well to get people what they need. So I say that to say, because you and I are in cities where, like, we can walk anywhere and find the place to volunteer, the place to,
yep,
or run into a person who right then is going to tell us what they need or what have you. In rural areas, it's easier to sometimes not be as confronted with these realities, but it's very bad in rural areas as well. And those support spaces are there too. So anyway, this just became a little like how to at the end. But again, I do think it's important. I mean, fuck, like what the fuck? Because we're saying what's keeping us alive. This is a way to help keep some other fucking humans alive,
Uh,
you know? Like,
Yeah.
which is where
I
we are.
mean, yeah. And I do think for me, that's like, this is part of my like personal ethos of who I would like to be as a person is like helping people remain alive is
That's
like a
right.
part of,
That's right.
what gives my life meaning. And
That's
so,
right.
and people includes me, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a whole project in and of
Yeah.
itself, but
Also,
um,
real talk, if you have the means, make donations to local organizations doing immigration work, doing
yeah,
doing
yeah,
housing work, doing food work. They fucking need it now more than ever. The money that they lost in January is still lost, and now their clientele has gone up with all the other cuts. So like I was at an event last night for an organization, and the pastor that they had come out to give the blessing, which is part of this organization's thing. Um, he blessed the food for us, and then he also gave blessings for all the people who lost their SNAP benefits and don't have a meal tonight as a
that's
result.
God.
And I
Yep,
was like, "Yep, that's it. That's it." You know?
yep.
So if you have the means, I understand a lot of us don't right now, but if you do, please, like $5, anything helps these organizations. So yeah, that's my spiel.
I love it. I love I will say that the shape of this really has mirrored the shape of our regular mode of communication, which is the voice note, the art of the voice note.
The art of the
And
voice note.
it does. Those do tend to take turns from here's this ridiculous story from my childhood and I'm like laughing so hard just telling it
Yes.
into yeah, it's really bad, people are going to lose access to food, like how fucking horrific back to, oh, the children are, joyfully screaming across the street at
Which they are
recess.
right now.
Oh no, I heard them. Little angels.
Oh my
Little
God.
angels.
Oh, and they have their jackets on now because we've temperature shift, you know?
We've shifted here too. So,
Yeah.
this will be I do feel that our geographical difference will be an important feature in the podcast at large,
Mm-hmm.
that we
Oh my God,
are.
we could do weather checks too, because you are 10 degrees warmer than me today.
Oh, really? Ooh, it's
Yeah.
chilly there. It's pretty chilly here.
Oh, chilly there.
Okay. So you better bundle up.
Thank you. I will.
Okay. Bundle up.
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather. I'm immediately going to go watch that. Just so you know.
Obviously. Obviously.
Just so you know.
Um, well, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, more
More
soon.
soon?
Yeah.
Stop recording.